So I want to talk to you about Kambo. I did my second journey. So I did a video on my first journey, I don't know, a few weeks ago. You can look that up. And so then 6 days later, I did my second journey. And I wasn't as scared this time. The first time I was really scared, like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. And I think that's normal to feel because, you know, when you've never done something, at least when I've never done something, I'm like, oh my gosh. And, you know, I was raised up to drugs, blah, blah. And I know it's not a drug, but at the same time, it's like something new and different. So this second time, what I've been noticing, okay, so the first time I need to say this, first time, so you have to be off sugar and like refined sugar and dairy and certain meats. So on November 27th, I just did that. And the sugar thing, which is what part of my intention was like kind of come off sugar in a way that felt good. I haven't had refined sugar at all. Well, okay, somebody gave me a piece of their cake and I thought it was non-sugar. It felt like pure sugar in my mouth. So I've had one bite of sugar. So it's been really easy. And I notice like the days that I'm like, I get stressed. The days I'm stressed, I want sugar. And it's fascinating because my practitioner told me about some kind of dates. Never been a date fan. It's not my thing. They don't normally be too sweet. But there's one kind of date. Don't ask me what kind. They're in Thai, so I don't know how to tell you what kind of dates they are. I just go and have a date. If I'm really, really, really stressed, I have maybe up to 3. And then it goes days, and I don't have any. And I'm like, this is amazing. So my sugar desire and habit is like very, very low. I still have honey, I still have fruit. I just don't have like refined sugar. And it's been really, really easy except for about 2 days. And so that's been really powerful. Another thing that I found fascinating, I was told that this might happen, and I was like, really? I hope so. This would be great. Which is, I've been living in the tropics for about 2.5 years now. When you live in the tropics, at least when I live in the tropics, little weird like moles and stuff grow on your skin. And they weren't there before. All of a sudden these things started dropping off. They started just eliminating. One of them is still shrinking, the rest have gone. In fact, there was one little patch of like dry skin that grew on my eyelid about a week or 10 days ago. It grew there, just hung out there, and then fell off. No pain or anything like that. And I'm thinking, I know at the end of my second session, I cried. And I didn't know why I was crying. I didn't care why I was crying. I was just curious. I'm like, what is this? This is amazing. And it was like, I wasn't happy. I wasn't sad. I was just like, okay, I'm crying. Later on, I thought about it. I'm like, I think, you know, I wear glasses for distance. And I think it was cleansing my eyes. And ever since then, my eyes, I wake up, normally they don't have stuff in them, but several mornings a week there's stuff in them, and I think it's like cleaning my eyes out. I've also been noticing I'm more grounded and centered, and so normally when I get reactive or whatever, I'm just not. I mean, not to say I've not been reactive at all in the last month or less than a month now. It's not that, it's just like I'm more centered. I'm handling stress better. I'm just like, sorry, not sure why my throat won't clear. And it's just such a beautiful feeling. It's like kind of coming back to myself, because I used to be completely non-reactive. I used to be completely just, when somebody like gets upset, I would just ask a question and stuff like this, and years ago, and then somewhere along the way, I started, because of post-traumatic stress, I started getting reactive instead of responsive. And so that's coming back, the responsiveness and just staying grounded and not actually responding to the essence of what's going on instead of all the intricate details. I just feel like I'm coming back to myself. So I don't do Kambo for a living. This is a whole new thing for me. I've only done it twice. But I'm just saying, like, if you have post-traumatic stress, if obviously you're in good health, because obviously you have to make sure that, you know, you're healthy for it. I just I've been a healer my whole entire life, and I've never experienced anything like this, where I feel like I'm coming back to myself. Like, I actually considered doing another session this week, and I'm like, I'm not ready. I'm still integrating. I'm singing again. I'm writing again. I'm being more creative again. I'm not watching so much stuff on my computer. It's like, feels like all these blocks are unblocking themselves. After the second session, I went full on activation of like, boom. I was like, I knew very clearly what I was supposed to do next. I hired a videographer. A demo had come into my life. This video that I've been wanting to put out for years on yoni massage just manifested. Basically, I did it the second session on a Sunday. On Monday, I told everybody, yes, we're doing this. I had to rewrite my whole entire class, which is exhausting for an intuitive person, just so you know. So I'm like, oh my gosh. But it was amazing, just very centered, very focused. The second day, I had to go buy everything I wanted to do, needed for the class, the video. Filmed on Wednesday, couldn't finish it. Filmed what they call B-rolls, which is the added extra stuff. It's not the class. The class was already filmed. On the next day, which was Thursday, 4 days. And the video that I've been wanting to do on my class for all these years just came together like this. Found out today that it's probably going to be finished on Friday. Yes. It brought focus and clarity, and it just brought drive and passion. And it was just like, yeah, sure, 3 days after that, those 3 days after those 4, yeah, I had to integrate them. I went slow, I went inward, and it was like powerful. I realized I'm listening inward a lot more. Like, I realized, like, I actually had the combo on my ankle, which I was told the second time when I went in for the second session, they're like, you have to be careful with this because being on the ankle, it rubs against things and all this stuff. Higher chance of infection. And so I started walking in the beach, in the water, and it just started healing like crazy. Like, it's you can barely see it's there now. All of the dots, actually. So the intuition to be like, oh, and I intuitively thought, like, I should put coconut oil on it. I should be in the beach, in the water more with it. And all of a sudden, it started healing beautifully, because the first 4 dots that he put on my ankle, as he put it, they look a little angry. And I think it's just because they kept being bumped and rubbed. And so as soon as I started going to the salt water, it took all the angriness away. And now they're almost completely healed, and I barely see them. So I'm just amazed at the calm and the creativity and the action that has put me in. My meditations are deeper. I love that I'm really listening to what my body wants to eat, and just not eating the things that it doesn't want to eat. And it's just like, there's so much clarity. So anyway, if you've ever thought about doing Kambo, I hope this supports you. If you're absolutely not interested in Kambo, great, that's fine. All I know is I've gotten a ton out of it, and I just want to share what I've gotten out of it. And I know this is only one bit. I know there's so much more that I could share on it. I just didn't want to have a big long video on it. But yeah. I will say, my workouts has gotten really strong. Like, I go to the gym, and I'm definitely tired the next day, because I'm like, wow, I really worked myself. Like, I feel really strong in my body. I feel my body already transforming. That's been incredible. Like, I was told, like, through the videos that I was watching on it, it's like, oh, in the next few days, you just have all this power and your workouts are... I have power for, like, getting in action, but my workouts didn't start amping up until last week. And I think it's because I was digesting and integrating so much. So I would also say, listen to your body. If there's something that calls you, great. If it doesn't, great. But the second session, I ended up getting 2 more dots than the first session. I wouldn't say it was any more intense. I will say I sweated a lot more. I shook like crazy at the very end. And then I did the crying, which was like wild. Just like the shaking and the crying, and it's just like, but it's like, it's a way that my body was releasing trauma. And I know if I were to do it again, I would have probably spaced them out. I wouldn't have done them 6 days apart. I would have probably waited 10 or 14 days. And yeah, but I know I did exactly what I was meant to do. Just because I was like fully still integrating the first one, but something told me to do the second one, which now I know why, because it was to get in action with the video and everything aligned at the perfect time. So anyway, I hope that supports you. If you have any question, I am not a combo practitioner on this, but if you have any questions, ask me. You know, you can private message me or write them below. If you like this video, like it. But sending you love, happy healing. Ciao.